let this just get started properly. As per usual, bear with me if the audio or the video goes a little bit pixelated or funny. It's only my voice, I suppose you need to worry about. There's nothing special on camera, at least not for today's live stream. So last night, although I was dealing with electricity issues in the house, just as the last bit of battery was left in my phone, I saw the news about with Charlie Kirk. I genuinely really liked the message that he stood for, and I think it really is just shocking what had happened to him, and where the kind of place that we're at now. And I don't really want to explore that topic. But one of the things that I always admired with him, though, was one of his purest messages that he said was that, however uncomfortable a conversation is, you should always have that conversation, because the moment that you stop, and I'm not quoting him like directly here, but he said, like, the moment you stop, that's usually where the problems start. And I agree that the moment people do stop talking to each other, then there usually is fights, wars, whatever. But that's not what this live stream's about, though. But it certainly did encourage me, though, to actually bring up the topic of mortality, because I'd been thinking about this anyway over the last few days, and I know on one of the live streams I kind of mentioned that I wanted to speak about it, and that's mortality. That the time that we have on Earth is very limited, and while you should really be doing the things that you want to do in life when you can, and you should also be overcoming whatever fears you've got sooner than later, because you just don't know when a situation could change or things can happen to you. And I myself, I've lost a lot of people in the dating industry, or just in my life in general. I think I've lost about 9 people, 4 of which were friends in the dating industry. I won't necessarily share their stories, how they passed, but I have lost 3 friends who were dating coaches who'd committed. I'm not sure how PG I have to be actually with live. Quite sure with videos. I know I can be a bit less delicate, as long as you don't say something in like the first few seconds of a live stream. But I'm not sure actually with live streams overall. So I'll try and keep it a bit PG. But I had 3 dating coaches who were friends take their lives, and I had one friend who was essentially a wing, and he was part of my friendship group of guys who would go out somewhat regularly and do approaching together. He took his life as well, and it's kind of it's a really weird, surreal experience every time, like, you hear of a new story of someone passing, someone dying in some form, and I was actually quite genuinely upset last night after hearing about with Charlie. Again, he just had a great message, and then when I think about other people that I know, even in the dating industry, who were just good guys, and how the world just sort of like misinterpreted what they said, or spun it in some way to fit their own narrative or story. But it's starting to rain a little bit. It was certainly tough to hear. So like one of the more recent dating coaches that passed was Johnny Berber. And what's crazy to think, we're nearly coming up to like a year with that, which is just it's just bewildering, really, if that's the right word for it. And Johnny was just someone who, he genuinely just inspired people. He kept like the most purest message, but even then, there was either so many coaches or just so many guys that would just knock him down, say all sorts of things online about him, just simply because they just didn't like him. Maybe they were jealous of him, envious, who knows, but there was just a lot of people who just didn't like him. But fortunately, there was just so many more that did. When I've done a live stream about it, but one of his friends and clients flew over from New York, and we worked together. And a lot of the week, and this was, by the way, this was when I had my eye infection as well, and I couldn't really see through it. But throughout the week, we were just constantly like reminiscing about Johnny and going to places in London and talking about stories of like experiences that we both had with Johnny there, or even what was funny was we made sure that when we were finishing and having dinner together, that we'd go to the places that we'd sort of spend time with Johnny at. And it's funny then, even then, like just how you feel in those memories, or in those places, about the memories that you have, and and then you just sort of think about the good times with them. But actually, I don't know where I'm going with this. I really don't. I guess I just wanted to sort of just share how I felt out loud, that that even people like with Johnny, there was Sam, there was Tom, there was Kieran, that they did their best, and for some reason or another, or one reason or another, things happened in life, and unfortunately they made their decisions. But I just don't. Maybe it's just because of how long I've been in the industry for, but I think I'm just sort of tired of like hearing about people struggling and lives being taken or being lost. And where am I going with this? Oh, hang on, I've had a message come through from someone else, just a girl. Whilst I'm doing a live stream about something really, really deep. I guess, look, guys, wherever you're at in your life, however like hard things are and stuff, whether you're subject to being in isolation, maybe bullying, maybe you're depressed, maybe lonely, whatever it is, I want you to just not take life for granted, because if there's one thing that this experience last night has shown, is just how the unexpected can essentially like happen, and how really you should value your life as much as you possibly can, and do what you can with it, and don't waste it. I know growing up for me, I wasted a lot of my life just sitting indoors and playing PlayStation, and just eventually getting older and having that feeling of like, shit, I should have sorted my life out sooner. And I was just very lucky that somehow by some divine intervention, I got involved in the pickup industry and the dating industry and just self-development industry overall, and I was just really lucky. And I know just how so many guys, they'll never have that experience that I had, how lucky I was. But I just don't want guys though just to be alone or just to struggle, and to certainly come to some like conclusion, or for something that happened that does make them value or not value their own mortality, and and then take their lives. Even even like dating coaches as well, you know, they're even the experiences that they've had in life. And actually I think Tom was an example of this, was that you could have the greatest dating life in the world. You could be traveling the world, you could be meeting all sorts of girls and stuff, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it brings you happiness. And the thing as well is, like, even with everything online, there was all this speculation of like, oh, this happened, that woman was the fault because that he did this and that, but no one really knows what's going on in a guy's head. No one really knows what his struggles are. You know, and I think about even like some of my last conversations that I had with Tom a couple of years back. In fact, I think the last conversation I had with him was about a year before his passing. And I remember he was, I think he was in Switzerland actually. We'd had a call, we'd had a catch-up call, and he was telling me how he enjoyed being a ski instructor. And then he'd made a joke about how I'd probably be out of the cameraman business because he was offering coaching, sorry, not coaching, he was offering filming to his clients or students in Switzerland on teaching them how to ski and snow. Well, yeah, I think it was ski. I don't think it was snowboard actually. I think it was just skiing. But you know, even with someone as confident as Tom, I mean, he still had, you know, his demons, and he was working through them. But you know, whatever influences in his life still got the better of him. And even with like Johnny as well. Johnny was in. He had financial debt. He was in financial debt. He was struggling with OCD and depression and stuff. He had a lot of online bullying going on as well. And, you know, and he felt alone. He felt like he just wasn't getting the support that he needed. And, you know, to much of Guy's shock, Johnny had a fantastic dating life. He really did. In the time that we were filming together, he had such an amazing dating life. And the amount of clients and money back then he was making, which is why it really kind of broke my heart when I'd made the videos at the time about his passing. That really upset me, just the position that he was in. Because he was making like 10, 20 grand a month. And then to go from that to literally struggling to afford things. Yeah, it did. It generally, I mean, even that broke my heart as well. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I mean, I appreciate that I've had guys watching this. I know I turned off the chat because it would really be good to have a discussion, but my brain tends to be even more scattered if I'm having a chat with people, because people put the most strangest things online. And I think maybe that's also part of the point, that you just, in a way, you just can't trust people to have just a very decent conversation at times. So I'll try and avoid like going around in circles with this. I think for me, I just needed to say thoughts out loud, however disconnected it might have been. But I mean, yeah, to kind of hear the news last night, it was upsetting. To essentially hear of another passing. Yeah, I just don't know how I feel really. It's, you know, it just sort of genuinely feels like the world's gone mad. That, you know, lunacy and idiocracy is just sort of like taking over, and, you know, people don't like something, it feels like they're just taking things into their own hands. Which in a way does kind of scare me a little bit, really, with dating coaches, that, you know, if we're at this stage where you've got, you know, these very far left idiots thinking that, right, if I don't like something, I can just kill them. Then I think what scares me is if they start literally going through different industries and saying like, hang on a minute, this dating coach is teaching men to be more confident or to meet women. No, I don't like that. Right, I've got to do something about it. I think is a very scary thought. I think that was something that had crossed my mind this morning. Like, well, you know, there are a lot of people might be what happened last night might be focused on politics, but who's to say it's not going to start targeting other areas, other niches, other industries where you've got people trying to, I will say, do good, but also who might have a particular message that then other people disagree with, and then you've just got, again, these lunatics taking matters in their own hands. Because there are certainly groups out there, certainly very far left groups out there that just don't like the idea of men learning to be more confident, learning the ability to go and speak to people. So I guess all I'll say is, like, guys, if you're socially anxious, if you're someone who doesn't really take life for granted, is that the right way to say it? If you're someone who's not really valuing their life as much as they should, I highly urge you to do something about it. Leave the house, go for a walk, explore life, go on a holiday, meet someone, fall in love, have a romantic rendezvous with them. Just do something, because if there's anything that, like, last night has shown, is just how short life can be. Even if you've got a family and children and stuff, I mean, life really. Okay, I got slightly disconnected for a split second. For the guys who haven't even gone on that journey yet, or maybe you've had a breakup, maybe you had a divorce, maybe you've been throughout your life, maybe people have treated you bad, whatever it is, don't wallow in it, don't stay in it, don't let months or years go by where nothing is done. I truly want you to sort of live life to the fullest, because you just don't know, how long it will last for. Health issues can happen, accidents can happen. So just do something. Just do something. So yeah. I apologise again. This is probably one of the most waffly live streams that I've done. It wasn't my intention. I think with how I felt after hearing the news last night, and just thinking, like, yeah, is this really what this has come to now? That freedom of speech, or just even having a thought or trying to share a good message, suddenly now a really bad thing? It really does make me worried, and and even just on a side note, as opposed to last night's news, I want guys though just to be able to have a life. Just put yourself out there. Don't stay indoors. Don't wallow in your own misery. Don't let people online try and put you down, or make you feel bad. You can be whoever you want to be, really. If I want to get woo-woo down that way. Oh, now it's gone sunny. So yeah, I'll probably end this here. I'm not going to do any pitch or anything. But look, if you guys need support, if anything, if you are feeling lonely, please talk to someone. If you don't want to talk to me, go talk to someone. Just I want you to just value your life, and I genuinely believe your life is more important than maybe you might believe right now. And I do think, like, everyone deserves some happiness. This is an incredibly woo-woo live stream, actually. I'm just realising that now, but just do something. Your life is important, and don't ever feel like your life isn't. And I really hope, that you guys have a good day, and and if you're feeling down, do something that cheers you up. Whatever it is, sit and play on PlayStation, do whatever, But yeah. Alright, I'll leave it there, because I know I am waffling now. And you guys are probably sitting there like rolling your eyes, going, "Oh, what is he talking about? What is he talking about now?" But yeah, it's certainly hard when you do hear of enough people taking their lives, or just lives being taken. In a way, I've had enough of it. I'm kind of bored of it, and especially if it's being lost in a wasted way. So anyway, right, I'll leave it there, guys. Apologies for the very waffly message. Like I say, it was just I felt like I just wanted to just speak out loud. I know it probably didn't make any sense, but it was how I felt after hearing the news last night, and just how life really is just so important, and it's just heartbreaking when it's wasted. So, all right, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I'm going to be I am heading to the station now. I'm going to do some more filming with Ephraim today, and hopefully the weather stays good. So we'll see. Anyway, all right, laters, guys.